Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. It is my honor to bring to you Plumber Stacker, who's got quite a unique channel because he owns his own business. And yes, he indeed is a plumber. And I will let him share his tagline with you, which I think is great. And there's some unique things that he has done with his career. And we're going to learn more about Plumber Stacker and how it relates to precious metals. And we're going to also find out maybe if he can accept precious metals for his services. So let's explore. Hello, Mr. Stacker. How you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, Sal?
Doing well. All right. Well, yeah. So you have been in the precious metal space for a while, a member of the community here, a respected member of the community. You do auctions. But I think what's fascinating is you have your own small business. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what got you into stacking in the first place?
Yeah, sure can. Here at the Plumber Stacker channel, our motto is we show our stack, not our crack. So,
all right.
Came up with that kind of when we first started the channel. I've been a plumber for about 22 years. I've owned a business for going on almost 15 years now. 13 years, right in that area. So I got into the community precious metals stacking at first, and right when early 2020, when most people were sitting at home due to the virus, and I just kind of started running with it. I started off watching Silver Dragons, then Yankee, and then yourself, and just always really enjoyed and respected what you guys did. So I started my own channel and started doing some live chats at first, got into the auctions, and now I'm trying to steer that toward content providing and trying to get some good information out there for people.
That sounds exciting. Yeah. So you kind of got into it from the pandemic essentially, but you've had your business for much longer, and that's quite impressive. And so what kind of precious metal products caught your eye first? What did you find? And obviously you watched some of us content creators that maybe kind of helped guide you in some ways, but what really caught your eye, or what sparked your interest in terms of the physical precious metals that you were collecting or accumulating or stacking?
Yeah. So first I did start out as a stacker. And I really thought that was going to be, I really got into it as an investment. And the more I learned about it, the more I learned that it really wasn't like something you can look at and you can make a ton of money off of, as far as bringing in the physical silver and gold. But I started stacking, like the Silver Eagles, basic things that most stackers start out getting, low end bullion. And from there, I started collecting, and the history of the coins, of the older coins and stuff, really, it's just so attracting to me is how you can get those really old coins in such great condition. 100 years old, 150 years old, just amazes me. And that's just something I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It really is. And I've found through my time here on YouTube, and also just talking to folks in real life, as it were, that as people can start out as hardcore stackers, just getting it for weight, more than likely they catch the collector bug at some point. There's a lot of different series. There's so many different choices, more choices nowadays than ever before, even in the bullion space, where you can get bullion coins or rounds with different designs and features, and they have the same buyback price as any other privately issued bullion or what have you, or coins, a Britannia as opposed to a Queen's Beast. It's what's hot, and people like to have a whole series. It makes stacking fun to add a little bit of collecting in it.
Yep. So I noticed that you do a lot of more collecting. Is that right? You're more of a collector.
Yeah, I'm more of a collector now. I do have a stack so to speak. And but the collecting I do is shifted more towards gold, but I do still accumulate a little bit of silver from time to time for my collections. I have a 2022 is going to be a pretty pivotal year for me in terms of my collecting, and you'll find out more about that on this channel as time goes on. You'll see what that's about, but yes, I'm definitely more of a collector with stacking on the side, so to speak. When I used to accumulate bars, those old Engelhard bars, I collect them because I thought they were kind of cool, and you just accumulate more and more of them, and you've got a stack.
And that's one thing too that I've noticed since all the premiums have just gone kind of nutso right now on bullion and Eagles, things like that. I've noticed that 5 and 10 ounce bars, you can still get those, pretty close to $30. In some cases, I've seen them under that, like, $28 an ounce, 28.50. So, that's one thing that, because I do auctions and I am a collector, but I do stack as well. So I like to get that type of information out to people because they don't always, not everybody is able to get out there and figure out what's the best thing to buy, where to buy it, and when. And, if you're able to buy 5 ounces at a time or 10 ounces at a time, I just find that that's the best avenue currently with all the premiums being so high.
Very true. You have to be agile in this market because of the premiums, and they're high, especially for Eagles, as you mentioned, and even privately issued bullion. They can be pretty pricey for rounds, but yeah, the bars are definitely a good way to go if you want to lower your dollar cost average, for sure. So is that what you're stacking right now then? Some of the bars?
Yeah, I've really been focusing on 10 ounce bars because I found that that's the closest spot that I've been able to get as far as my stack goes. The collector coins, Morgans have gone up considerably lately, but there's a lot of other collector items that you can still get out there that haven't really taken off as far as price wise. That's a whole different animal right there. You got to know what you're looking for and how to price it properly, because there's people out there that really take advantage of you if you don't know what you're doing and you just say, hey, I want this, and okay, well, yeah, I got it, but it's going to cost you X amount. But I find the 10 ounce bars for the stack currently for me is the best way to go.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yep, just add weight, stack it up, and move on. So what are some of the coins that since you started in 2020, what are some of the bullion coins as opposed to bullion rounds in the silver space that you have found that you've stacked and been attracted to?
Man, I went all over the place after I started getting that collector eye. Really, it was I do have a lot more silver Eagles than I would say anything else. I like the Engelhard 1 ounce rounds. Those things are nice. But I really moved toward Morgan's Peace Dollar just starting to get in. And then numismatic gold, like Indian heads, Liberties. Just started getting into that as well. That's a hefty premium on a lot of that stuff. But again, it's all about the history for me with that stuff, and I can't get enough of it, to be honest with you.
The pre-33 gold is amazing. Yeah, if you get it graded especially, you can pay premiums. There was a time in recent years before the pandemic when the premiums plummeted for the pre-33 gold. And you could get it for essentially bullion price for a while. But that was relatively short-lived.
Yeah.
And there's some cases where you can get XF or some lower grade pre-33 gold for relatively close to spot, but that's few and far between. A lot of people like to get the graded coins, and they are beautiful. And yes, the history behind them is just amazing indeed. Never know who could have held those coins and what was going on economically at the time. I mean, you think about it as we headed from 1929 to 1933, just those years alone were quite remarkable in the Great Depression and those coins and leading up to the Franklin Delano Roosevelt's executive order that prohibited the buying of gold, and essentially wanted you to turn in your gold. So pretty amazing time indeed. But yeah, gold. So gold, that's the gold you're interested in. Do you get any bullion coins or bars in the gold space?
So if it's not numismatic for me, it's the cheapest gold I can get, and I do have like a couple, 2.5 gram pamp bars. I have a lot of quarter ounce. I really do like the proof libertads in the gold, and the reverse proof are just out of this world. But the premiums are just insane on those things.
Oh yeah.
But they're just so beautiful. They're like this. The proof silver, the reverse proof silver eagle is my favorite coin, and I would say the libertad proof and reverse proof would be my second. But
that's in the gold, right?
Yeah.
So your first favorite silver coin is a reverse proof silver eagle, and your second it would be the gold reverse proof libertad.
Oh yeah.
Did you have one?
I have a half ounce, and I actually set money aside for a little bit to get it because I knew that I was going to pay up for it.
Yeah, but it's something you enjoy. Then yeah, it's one of those bucket list coins. Do you have it handy?
Actually, yes, I do. I can grab that really quick. And then there was a gold Balboa that I found too.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if this camera is going to show it properly, but
wow, that is nice. What year is that?
This one is 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just, and they're super low mintage.
I believe that's the first year they came out with the reverse proof.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah. Love that eagle on the reverse too.
Yeah.
Half ounce is a good size to show that off because I like that reverse, the showing the full eagle instead of the multiple on the 1 ounce size, the multiple eagles circled around. So that would be what I would be after as well too. But yeah, high premium, but definitely has paid off for you as a numismatic play. Look at that. Oh, the Balboa. Yeah.
And I didn't even know they made these.
Yeah. Yep. That was Franklin Mint produced those.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. What is that? A half ounce size?
Oh, that's a quarter ounce.
Quarter ounce. Okay. Very good.
It's just not as thick as the Libertad.
Okay. Right.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I think once you have them in your hand and know that you've got a rarity, it does give you this sense that you've got something of worth that transcends just stacking. It makes it fun, exciting, and just a great way to enhance and diversify your stack. And it sounds like that's what you're getting involved in here as you're during your stacking journey of just over 2 years now. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. So getting back to your business, so during the pandemic, I assume that business had slowed down and you were trying to, is that what precipitated this move to get into precious metals?
Yeah, because especially when it first hit, it was a gradual, decline in business and calls coming in for the first week or two, and then it just stopped. And the phone didn't ring at all. And with my business, we focused a lot on commercial service, like restaurants, things like that. And of course, what happened to the restaurants, and a lot of them closed down. A lot of them, obviously had to shut down for a while and then didn't reopen. So it was good for me as a person, not for my business, because that was really tough. And we blew through almost all of our savings. And, I did take advantage of a couple opportunities the government put out for us, which did keep me afloat. Otherwise, I probably would have had to close the doors. But then, being here in Florida, our governor was awesome about it almost the entire time. And he got us back open for as much as he could. And it was a shame to see all of the businesses, that didn't reopen, or, there's still a lot of us that are struggling to get above water from, what we went through in the beginning. And really almost a full year of things not being right. And when I was on the commercial side, it was 60% of my business. I built a very strong rapport with a lot of other owners, and to see them go out of business or you know, close down or struggle, and they couldn't even afford to have us come over there, and I found myself times just going to fix things for them just because I know eventually it's going to come back around to me, and they pay me when they can pay me. And then, you know, it did pick back up, and I revamped pretty much my entire business plan, if you will, so it wasn't so heavy in one area or another. So now we focus on commercial and a lot of residential and property managers, things like that, that no matter what will always have work for you, regardless of, you know, what's going on in the world. One good thing about being a plumber is you're always going to need one. Something's going to go wrong eventually. And if it doesn't, you're very lucky. But that's one thing, you know, if you don't have water, if you can't use the restrooms, that's kind of a big deal. So I think that I'm very lucky in the trade that I chose.
Yes, that's amazing. And that's great that you can be agile in your business approach. And it sounds like you have weathered the storm and are coming out stronger on the other side of this and learned a lot. So that's amazing. So as this business owner, and I think I have great respect for business owners, small business owners, especially. It's so tough in this country, and especially with what has happened. So God bless you for all you do. And
thank you.
Have you ever considered taking payment in precious metals for your services?
I sure did. And actually, I did have one customer. It was a friend of mine, though, so it's not, you know, it's not like it's somebody I didn't know, but I did collect payment in gold. I thought it was really neat.
Nice.
Because he's not a stacker per se, but he does like to put some of that stuff away just for a rainy day. And you know, I did a bunch of work over at his house, and I know that he has some, and you know, I gave him the bill, and he, you know, getting ready to write me a check. I was like, how about you just give me some of that gold over there?
Nice.
And he's like, really? I was like, yeah, gold. Why wouldn't you? You know, and so then we made our transaction, and that was really neat. And then after that, I called my accountant and I asked him how I could do that, and he said, just like anything else, you know, you're collecting whatever you value that silver at that day, which, you know, if I were to actually collect payment as that, I would try to obviously get close to spot or somewhere around there. But, you know, there's a few things that go into that. So, you know, if anybody thought about doing that, make sure you have a very informative conversation with your accountant before you do something like that, because you have to deal with the loss, and then you have to deal with the gains as well if you're holding on to that as a business. There's ways to, you know, if you're an owner, you can take a distribution and use the silver or gold. I thought it was really neat, and any opportunity that I ever will or you know, will have, I will definitely do it. I think it's great. Really, it's fun to do, you know, versus just transferring fiat. To have some gold transferred to your hands or silver, I think that would be pretty cool.
It really is neat that you were able to do that time and would consider it for the future, because you never know. I mean, we could get into a point where things happen quickly, especially with what's going on now with inflation, with the geopolitical situation we're involved in now, and shortages, where precious metals may make a more of a firm way to be able to do transactions in the future. We'll see, but very interesting, fascinating indeed. Yeah. And I think it's amazing what you've done. And I love how you've incorporated your business into your channel here. You know, as the plumber stacker, there's only one. It's pretty cool. And you were very kind to send me a silver poured wrench, which I thought was really cool. And I'm going to put a link to Plumber Stacker's channel in the comment section below. He does auctions too, are successful at that, does his live streams. And that's just it. I've noticed in the last couple of years that some of these younger channels starting out, they are starting out as live channels, you know, where they just come in and do auctions or have their live streams. And it's really more about that and about community and interacting in that way, as opposed to creating content. although I know that you do have some content and you've got some great content as well. So it's interesting to see that shift there on your channel. So again, I encourage you to check out, subscribe to Plumber Stacker. I'll post all of his information in the description below. And I want to extend a huge multitude of gratitude to you, Plumber Stacker, for joining me here today. And thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. And I want to encourage you to please rate, share, and subscribe to Plumber Stacker.
Thanks, Sal. I appreciate it.
Thank you.